What's up, YouTube family? I'm back. I know this has been a video that a lot of people have been wanting me to make, but I really just been enjoying myself. I had my hemorrhoidectomy maybe on April 14th. I made an initial video like 24 hours to 48 hours after, and I was in so much pain. I'm just gonna give like a brief rundown on the things that helped me and the things that I notice now when I use the restroom, or just now when I'm doing my day-to-day activities. So I'd say around my 5th day, I got constipated like bad, and I had my surgery through the VA. So it was free. So it was no hassle in the sense of making a schedule, rescheduling, making a schedule, rescheduling. It was more so of like they gave me my health risk, and they told me that if I didn't do what I needed to do, that this would be the consequences of my actions. So yeah, I had the surgery, and I was terrified. I'm not gonna lie, I was beyond terrified. And I'm trying to think exactly how I felt. I know that this was the only surgery that I've ever had where I went under anesthesia with the needle. I've had wisdom teeth taken out in the Navy in boot camp, but I think that it was like laughing gas. But this is my first surgery where like I went out like on the needle. And I just remember the doctor saying that like, oh, you'll feel something warm and then something cold. And I felt the warm, and I was anticipating the cold, and then I woke up and the surgery was over. You know what I mean? Like, that's how good they are with the surgery. That's how good they are with the procedure. Um, I went to right after surgery, they made me use the restroom, and they told me that if I didn't go, I would have to get a catheter. And I don't know about any other guy, but I ain't trying to get nothing stuck in my penis. You know what I'm saying? So I went to the restroom and I dribbled, you know what I mean? Little Pete came in, and long story short, I kind of lied to like, I mean, I did pee, but it wasn't like substantial. So I used the restroom, and then they were like, okay, did you use the restroom? I'm like, yeah. And they were like, okay, well, if you say you did, you can leave. So I had help, and my girlfriend at the time, she helped me out, and she made sure that I was doing what I needed to do. I'm sorry, I'm trying to set this up. I'm watching the playoffs, but I know a lot of people ask for me to make a video in response, so that's what I'm doing. I'm trying to think what else happened. I got home, and again, I'm taking like oxycodone like nonstop. Not like nonstop where like I'm on overdose, but I'm taking it like how I'm supposed to take it, like 3 times a day, 8 hours in between, because I'm anticipating my first bowel movement. And it got to the point where like I was getting cramping pains because I had to urinate, and that was hurting more than me thinking that I had to pee. So I would have to literally calm my body down and like think of like I have to pee, or I have to like start peeing in my head, like making it happen in my head, and then I would feel it go down my stomach to my kidneys or my bladder, and then to the area, and then to my through my urethra, and then I would use the restroom. And it kind of, I'm not gonna say it burned. It was just like a force. It was like a force. I can't describe it. And like I said, my body's still overcoming the anesthesia and like I guess spinal blocks or something, because they gave me anesthesia, but it said that they did something to my spine. I forgot exactly what. But I'm trying to see what else happened. I'm trying to give you a broad video, because like I said, I'm so over this whole situation that like I don't even want to deal with it no more. But I'm trying to help people out. So fast forward to day 5, I don't use the restroom. I go back to the VA, and I'm freaking out because I'm taking Metamucil. I'm taking what do you call it? Docusate, and I'm taking I'm drinking like apple juices and fruits and stuff. So I'm like, why haven't I used the restroom yet? And I felt the pressure starting to build. So I kind of throttled down on the Metamucil, and instead of taking like the full dose that it tells you to on the box or on the little cylinder, I take half of that. But before I go to the VA, I take prune juice, like not a big cup, but like a like a low ball glass cup, like enough where like I feel it. But then I rush to the VA, and I'm like mad. I'm talking to my doctor. I'm like, why haven't I used the restroom? I'm freaking out. I done ate chicken noodle soup and fruits and other stuff, and I still haven't had the opportunity to use the restroom. So she's like, oh yeah, this is a problem. We're gonna prescribe you what is it called? Magnesium citrate and something else. It was two things, but it was supposed to like make, it was like a forceful laxative, and it was supposed to make me use the restroom like immediately. And I'm glad I didn't take that, because I get home and like I'm in traffic and I can slowly feel my stomach starting to like kick up, and I'm just like, oh, it's happening. It's happening. You know what I'm saying? And then at the same time of it happening, I'm freaking out because I'm like I'm happy it's happening because I'm like, oh, relief. I get to use the restroom. But then I'm nervous because I'm like, this is my first bowel movement. Nothing has come out that end since surgery. So I swear to you, I live 3 stories up. So I take the elevator because I'm not supposed to be climbing stairs and doing anything. But I run up the stairs. Like not full run, but like I'm like moving it. And I get in. I don't know if I even shut my front door all the way, but I got dogs. So that's probably what you're hearing in the background. But I got dogs. So like somebody comes in, they're pit bulls and stuff. So like come in if you want to. But I rush to the restroom, and I swear like it's usually a procedure. I take my pants off, I take everything off, I run my bag. You know what I mean? I didn't have time to do nothing. When I say it came out of me with a force, like if I could describe the force to you, it would be like you know how like when you go to NBA games and they shoot them shirts out of those guns, or like I'm trying to think of like how like you know how if your sprinkler system has rust on it and you start scraping it, but the water is on it and you just see the force, like it came out like that. I got pictures of it. I would post it on YouTube, but I don't want to get like banned or anything. But when I say I pooped blood clots, it was blood clots. That pain was so bad that I don't cry. I'm not one of those people that like do bad with pain. I've had root canals that I needed to get done, and like I've waited a week or two. You know what I mean? Some people can't take that. I can take it. But this pain, it was like a burning, ripping, stinging, throbbing. I'm talking about like I'm on the floor. I'm so, I don't know why, but I'm so much in pain that something tells me to go underneath the bed. And I go underneath the bed, and for some reason, I don't know if it like because the bed, like there's no noise. I don't know what it is, but it comforts me for some reason. And then my girlfriend, her dad's a surgeon. He's like, you know what you should do? You should put ice on it. That was my first time ever hearing about that. I swear to you, my surgeon gave me a half of sheet of paper on what to do. Like take 6 baths, take the medicine, and avoid like physical activity. That was it. It was nothing else. So I'm like, it has to be more. You know what I'm saying? And I put ice on it after, and that relieved me. But again, I had prune juice. So that prune juice is like, you're gonna use it. You're gonna poop everything you had inside of you out. Everything. And I say 4 more times that night I pooped. Blood clots, blood, like pain. Maybe my last bowel movement was feces at the very end of it. But by that time, I was already in so much pain that like I never understood what people mean like when like they get shot or something traumatic happens and they're in shock. But my body was in so much shock that like I couldn't use the restroom sitting down. I would be getting in a sitz bath or like a tub to take a bath. And the moment my like body started to like break 90 degrees, bowel movement. Or like I would like get in, I would try to get on my knees. The moment I would like ease my butt into the water, bowel movement. You know what I'm saying? It was horrible, like horrible. So fast forward, that's day 5. Fast forward day 10. I'm sorry, I digress. I go to the ER and they tell me that I don't lose that much blood, but that I don't need no transfusion. Everything looks normal. And they know it's painful, and they give me some like lidocaine. That's pretty much what they gave me. So fast forward 4 more days after that, 4 or 5 days, I don't know if it's day 9 or day 10, I have a bowel movement, and now it's a different feeling. because it's not stinging. It's more so of like my butt going into overdrive. When I say going into overdrive, I mean like, okay, imagine eating the most spiciest food you can eat, or something that makes your bowel movements painful. You start to feel that, and you're like, oh, this is gonna be a painful, burning one. But I mean, it's a bowel movement. You're used to it. Imagine feeling that, and then another feeling happens, and it's like your butt starts to push. It feels like your butt is this big. No, that's too big, like that. But you're shitting out this in that area. In my mind, I'm thinking like I'm about to create another hemorrhoid. But every time when I would be done, I wouldn't feel no crazy like hemorrhoid pain. I felt what do you call it, skin tags. So I felt skin tags, but as far as me feeling like in my mind, I was pooping out my intestines. But in reality, it wasn't that. And that feeling happened from day 10 to day 22. And I started to like notice that like after like once day 20 hit, I could move more. I was moving more. I'm a barber. Like that's my profession. I cut my own hair. I cut people's hair. So I went in there and I was looking homeless. I haven't had a haircut in 3 weeks. So I went to the garage and cut my own hair. And I noticed that I was like, oh, I can do this. I can walk. So it gets good to me to the point where I'm like, I'm gonna go to Walmart. And I go to Walmart, and for some reason my bowels start just acting up. And I don't know if it's just because I'm walking more, because it literally felt like when I would lay in bed all day, I would be fine. But the moment I started to stand up, my bowels would be kicking like going crazy. So I went to Walmart, came home. You had to use the restroom. So from day 10 to day 20 or day 22, I started to notice like a big change. Like I could start eating more solids. So I tried, like, when I say solids, I'm not talking about like burgers. I'm talking about I would go from chicken noodle soup to like tuna fish sandwiches, or I would go to peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, or I would go to like something like that. By day 22 to day 25, that feeling of that overdrive in my butt when I poop went away. I don't know what happened. It just went away. I remember going to the VA and me having anxiety and me feeling like the last time I was here, right after, I didn't feel too good, because they also do a rectal exam when you go. They like kind of like poke and pry it, make sure that there's no abscess, make sure there's no like discolored leakage. Like you're gonna have leakage. It's probably like yellow, brownish, whatever. But they're trying to make sure it's not green or like nothing, like a weird color to show infection. So they do all that. They touch the skin tags to see how painful they are. But my doctor said I was actually healing, like I was 2 weeks ahead of schedule. You know what I mean? So for some reason, I left the VA and my stomach started to kick in. Again, I had the anxiety and the fear of what happened day 5 happened. And then I came home, and before this, I was feeling that bowling ball feeling, like where it was like, I'm about to poop a bowling ball. But when I got home, I was literally like, because I didn't notice it until then. But when I would get home, when I would have to poop, I would get a towel, and I would just clench the towel so hard, like where like I could almost feel my nails going into the other side. And I would clench, right? And I was clenching, and I'm shaking, and I poop, and it comes out like, I'm sorry to anybody that like ice cream, but it comes out like soft serve, like it just, and I'm just like, and my heart is beating so fast that I'm not gonna say I can hear it, but I can feel it. I'm sweating, and I'm just like, no, that can't be it. Or maybe I just started pooping. Maybe this was the beginning. So I have a timer, because I don't want to sit down too long. My timer is like 7 minutes. So I'm sitting down, and I'm just like, okay, mind you, I pooped within my first 2 minutes. As soon as I sat down, 2 minutes, I'm pooping. So I'm like on like minute 5 or minute 6, I'm like, man, my timer is gonna be up. So I start getting anxiety. So I ain't gonna lie, I pushed one time, and I pushed, and I'm just like, there's nothing else in there. Now, mind you, I've had hemorrhoids for 10 years, but when the pandemic started and all the food was like being sold out in stores where you couldn't get groceries, I was eating fast food. And I think that's what made my hemorrhoids bad, because I went from like stage 1 to like kind of stage 2 to stage 3 immediately during the pandemic. And, you know, they weren't seeing anybody during that pandemic time, so it just got worse. But I'm trying to think. Oh yeah, I went to go use the restroom, and it was nothing. Like it was like I pooped, and it was easy. I get up, there's a toilet bowl full of poop. I'm sorry to be nasty, but there's a toilet bowl full of poop. And like I remember like, wait, like I'm freaking out because in my mind I'm like, I must have ripped my butt so bad that like my nerve came out. I don't feel nothing. So then I go to wipe with the a baby wipe. Mind you, before this surgery I couldn't wipe. So I wiped and I was like, this don't hurt. Like it's still tender, but it don't hurt. And I get a toilet paper and I wipe in my, so I wiped 3 times. And my third time it hurt. You know what I mean? Like the area was kind of like sore. And it was just blood on the tissue, like a pink blood, like not dark red or light red. It was just like pink blood, like, and there was some blood in the toilet a little bit. So I get in the tub and I sit down confused. Like I'm slowly sitting down. I'm like, what's going on? Little do I know, I'm healing. Like your body heals. I'm not thinking that like my body's gonna ever heal because I'm going through this pain and I'm going through this intense feeling for so long. So I just seen my doctor on day 32, and she's like, "Yeah, you can lift whatever, you can work, you can do whatever, you can, you know what I mean." I'm like, I'm in San Antonio right now, but I live in Dallas. I'm sorry, I'm from San Antonio, or I live in San Antonio, but I'm from Dallas. And I missed Mother's Day, and I was going to go see my mom for Mother's Day, like belated Mother's Day, because I rarely get a chance to go home. I'm so busy with work. Again, I cut hair on weekends, and that's like when I'm super busy. So most times when it's time for me to travel, I can't because I got a lineup full of people. But I'm trying to think. I asked her, I said, can I drive 4 hours, like seated? And she's like, yeah, you can do whatever. And I was like, can I start working out? She said, you can go to a gym right now and play basketball. I'm like, okay. You know what I'm saying? Can I lift? You can lift whatever. Now, if it hurts, don't stop. You know what I'm saying? But I'm making it where you can do whatever you want to do. And I'm just like, okay, that's perfect. So, I think it's day 40 right now. And I'm good. I was like 260. I was overweight. And I've lost at least 20 some pounds. I fluctuate. So for some reason, I can do a week of me just eating healthy and I can go down to 225. But then I can do weeks of like me watching the playoffs. I'm a Dallas fan. So I'll go out and drink at a bar and drink beer or something. And I'll be between 225 to 235. Like I fluctuate. For some reason, that's my range. But I mean, I lost 30 pounds. You know what I'm saying? And you see it in my stomach and my face compared to how it was before. But I'm good. I do have one skin tag and it's decreasing. At first I had like 3, I think. I don't know if it was a skin tag or if they were skin tags or scar tissue, but I do have one skin tag. Before I could feel it like kind of like poking out. Like I could like, if this is your butthole, and you just rub your finger down, I would feel my skin tag. Now I have to actually like open my butthole and go inside. I'm like, okay, there it is. So it's decreased in size. I'm trying to think like, what also helped me, and I advise people to do this. These are the 3 things that changed my life through the surgery. Listen close. Use ice or warm heat. My girlfriend made me a granny bag. And it was like grains in like it feels like a bean bag. And I would warm it up for 4 minutes and I would put that on. And it would soothe that area. And then the moment after I had a bowel movement, I would use coldness because that area is inflamed. That was one, that's one. Be careful with the oxycodone because I've never been addicted to anything in my life. I've never tried anything dramatic. I've smoked weed and drunk liquor. But other than that, I've never done no crazy drugs. So that was my first time of trying something and my mind starting to play tricks on me like, you need this, like you're depending on this. Like sometimes my pain level wouldn't be as high as it needed to be for me to even take that. But when I would take it, it would make my mind think like, you just want to feel numb. Like you don't want to feel nothing. But little did I know that I didn't feel nothing. Like I would take the medicine and I would just be staring at TV. And I'm not even like I'm looking at TV, but literally I'm in my mind thinking about something totally different. So from somebody coming in, they're like, you look like you're not even here. You know what I'm saying? But then at the same time, I didn't feel no pain. And then I remember like I stopped taking it because my doctor told me I was about to run out. So I kind of panicked. So I think I had enough for 2 more days if I took it like 8 hours a day, or I had enough for 6 days. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to take it every night. You know what I'm saying? And then I stopped taking it. And I remember I was having cold sweats. I was having like night terrors. I remember on the medicine, my dreams would be some of the most scariest, vivid dreams ever. Like I remember I had a dream where like I took it and um it was like I live in apartments. So apartments you can look all the way across. And I remember like I took the medicine to fall asleep and I have allergies, so I have to take Benadryl, but that makes you sleepy too. So I was like over sleepy. But I just remember having a dream, and like in my dream, I was walking up the stairs like a normal day when I walk my dogs. But across, I saw a person like they looked like me, like bearded, but it was like from far away, dark day, far away. So I'm like, what the heck? Like I know everybody that lives in these apartments, so I've never seen this person before. And I start running up the stairs because I'm thinking like, oh snaps, like I left my dogs out. You know what I mean? Because if I leave them all out, they'll start fighting each other. Not like like hurting each other, but like playful fighting. But long story short, I can still see all the way across the hall, and that person's running. So I'm like, okay, they're not going to my floor because I know everybody on my floor. Like it's a cat lady, it's these two Asian couples that cool. It's a new couple that just moved in. You know, I know everybody on my floor. You know what I'm saying? So from my steps, I'm the second door, but from the far steps, I'm like 8 doors away. So I run and I kind of slow down. I'm like, okay, I'm already here. And this motherfucker is running straight down. Like if you seen Get Out, he's running that fast. So I'm like, wait a minute, is he running to me? So I open my door, and I swear, like by the time I turn to close it, he's right there. So I'm like, I slam my door. So I'm like, my dogs are out because I come in, I see them, they come in, they're they're going crazy. So like he like pushes the dogs out the way, but I'm like backing up in the room. Now for some reason, I like hit my funny bone on the door. And I turn around and my body's in bed, like just laying there. You know what I'm saying? So it's almost, I'm not gonna say I was lucid dreaming or anything, but it was just like, why? Like, it was weird. You know what I'm saying? So something told me that like, I needed to like jump in back in my body. And I swear when I jumped in my body, like I kind of like positioned myself to lay just like I was in my body. But as like if my body was laying on its back, I like jumped in bed, I laid on my back, and right when I like my face turned over, that figure was trying to jump over my body. And then I woke up, you know what I mean? And I woke up in sweat. Like it's like 68 degrees in my house, but I'm sweating. I'm having a fever. My girl's like, I'm gonna have to take you to the hospital. I'm just like, I don't know what's going on. And that's what oxycodone, I feel like, does. Like when you're on it and your body gets used to it, you don't feel the effects till you come off of it. So I'm telling everybody, please be careful when you take that. The last thing that I did that helped me during my recovery was I joined a Facebook group. I think it was called, it was two groups. It was Aftermath of Hemorrhoids or something like that. And I forgot, but the people in that group are great people. All of them are great people. The only reason why I left that group was because I was constantly reminded of like new people going into the surgery. Like I have surgery tomorrow, and me knowing in the back of my mind how much pain they would be in, and them trying to be hopeful, like, is there anything that I can do before? And it's just like in those first 2 weeks, there's nothing you can do. You're gonna take this pain. You know what I'm saying? And I would give them advice, and it would scare them. So I felt like I was doing more harm, or I wasn't doing my job compared to other people that was like, yeah, try this ointment or try this or try that. But then people would be like, I don't even feel the ointment. You know what I mean? And the reality of the situation is like, you're going to, like on the first 8 days is going to be some of the worst days you can feel. It's people that I know that have in that group that had twins. It's people that I know that had knees replaced. It's people that I know that had something wrong with their backs. and they'll tell you right now that it's the worst pain that they ever felt in their lives. Like lives. Like I still feel some like pain. You know what I mean? Like not bad pain. It's more so like when I pass gas, it's not like a fluid pass gas. Like I pass gas easy. Like if I want to pass gas right now, I'll do it. But it's almost like a stinging at the end. Like not like, oh, this hurts the most. You know what I mean? Like I remember like coughing, sneezing, laughing, that hurt. So now when I see something on TV and I start laughing, I try to like tell myself to calm down because I'm scared of like that pain. Or if I'm coughing, I try to like hold my breath because I don't want to cough, not knowing that I'm healed and I can cough, but I'm nervous. You know what I'm saying? But ice and heat for the spasms. Be careful of your oxycodone, how you take your oxycodone, and then join the Facebook group. Depending on your doctor, they're going to go by the book. So they might say things like the human body heals itself within 2 weeks. Listen, if you never had this surgery, you can't tell me how fast the human body can heal. You know what I'm saying? I felt like the people in those groups were more helpful and were more realistic than the guidelines that doctors were giving me. I'm not saying don't follow your doctor because they have degrees. They do this all the time. But what I am saying is that until a person has had a scalpel in your butt and you're recovering from it, you can't really give advice. You know what I'm saying? And the good thing about my doctor, and I say this to close out, she was a wonderful surgeon. I had a chance, I only got into it with her one time, but I had a chance to talk to her. And I was just like, you gave me a number, a VA number to call you on, and it was a generic number. Like, you use this number to call the VA, and then they outsource you to wherever you need to go. I'm in pain. I'm on medicine. I'm not trying to hear all this. So I felt like you kind of left me stranded, and you didn't tell me about ice and heat and all these things. And while I was saying this, she was writing stuff down. And she said, I apologize to you because I felt like I failed you in the aftercare. If I would have known that you was dealing with this, trust me, like I would have did everything in my power to help you. And I saw it in her eyes because her eyes teared up. And I was just like, wow, like this is the first time I felt like a doctor cared about me, because I don't even like going to give blood, to get shots, nothing. You know what I'm saying? So she did a hell of a job. I don't know if I can like, I don't care. Her name is Christine Shad, S-C-H-A-D. She's a colorectal surgeon in San Antonio. If you ever have this surgery, go to her. I'm telling you, it's gonna be painful. You know what I'm saying? But go to her. And again, I had a THD with a middle fissure surgery. So I had fissure on my like sphincter area. I didn't have a LIS. I just had something with the fissure. But that's what I think that's causing me to like still feel some discomfort when I pass gas or when I eat certain foods or whatever. It's not so much the anal cavity anymore. It's just like the sphincter skin around it. And I think that's the fissure area. So I try to give as much information as I can. I'm currently watching the playoffs right now. So that's all I can think about. I have the videos of me doing like day 3, day 4, day 5, but once day 5 hit, I gave it up. So I apologize for not sticking it out, but this is like my broad, a broad spectrum of events that happen that pretty much put things into perspective for me. So if you're having this surgery, there's hope. I never understood what people meant when they said, oh, it'll be worth it in the end, or I'm so glad that I had this surgery, because by week 2, it started to like mess with me mentally. Like I was just like, what did I do? Or like, I can't take this pain, or like just like having bad thoughts. That and me on oxycodone like didn't mix. So yeah, I tried to give everything that I did, or everything that helped me out. If you have any questions, I don't mind answering things in the comment section. I know that this was very sporadic, but I told some of the people that commented on my other video that I would make this video within 24 hours. So I'm trying to stick to my word. I thank you guys for paying attention and taking this time to listen to me. I hope that whoever goes through this knows that they're not alone, and keep your head up. Things will get better. And in the end, if this improves your life like it did mine, I say it's worth it. You're not going to feel like it's worth it the first 8 days, but after that, you'll be okay. Peace and love.